happening. It's Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Good morning and welcome into Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Wally Lukashenski and Cale Zomer back in the Daily Dodge studio with Corey Sparks, making us sound good up in the WBEV studio. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering and also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. But let's talk a little bit about Professional Floor Covering. A lot of exciting things happening over there right now. Your store for floors and so much more. Whether you're dreaming of brand new cabinets and countertops, stylish new flooring, or a luxurious shower or tub, Professional Floor Covering has everything you need to transform your space. When it comes to flooring, they really have you covered there. A great selection of flooring, all different types, styles, brands of carpets, including a great lineup of carpet that has over 50 different rolls in stock right now, tons of different colors, patterns, and materials. And they carry some of those great lines like Stanton carpets, so check that out. Say it each time, but Cale, I love hardwood, and they got a great selection of hardwood over there. They also have laminate. They have a fantastic selection of LVP and all different types, styles, and budget ranges. They also have some tile and stone, and they do custom area rugs. And of course, when you work with Randy and the team at Professional Floor Covering, they'll come out to your home, get everything measured up for free. They can suggest different types of flooring, offer up different price points, and make sure to get everything you need to meet your budget and making sure everything looks beautiful. If you're not sure where to start, visit their showroom at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam or online at proflr.com. Cale, I hope you had a great weekend. I'm fired up to be back in studio with you today, and it's severe weather week.
Happy Monday. I know. It was... it was a pretty good weekend. It was one of those, like, for the first time, like one of the first weekends we didn't have like a million places to go.
Yeah.
And so, and fortunately the weather was like beautiful, so we actually got a chance to get some things done around the outside of the house finally that I've been itching. Like the last 3 weekends that I've had some time available to work on stuff. It's been like raining or snowing but it was beautiful this weekend. However, we are in that season where we could be facing some severe weather. This week is Severe Weather Awareness Week here in Wisconsin, and today's show is kind of all about that.
It has me fired up. I wanted to when I grew up, I wanted to be a meteorologist. I wanted to be a storm chaser. So I'm rocking the Twister t-shirt today.
You got the Twister shirt on today.
So I'm very fired up to be talking about that. Last week, we actually just missed. There was a tornado warning just about 15 minutes from here.
We've already had a little severe weather in the area.
So it's a perfect time to really start preparing and making sure you are ready, because severe weather comes, and it's going to be here. You just got to make sure you're on top of it. So that kind of leads us right into... We're so excited to be joined today by Morgan Brandenburg with Ready Wisconsin to talk a bit about severe weather preparedness in the statewide tornado drill that is this Thursday, just to kick us off going into the week. Morgan, very fired up to be talking with you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing this morning? Sounds like pretty good.
Doing pretty good.
Very good. And like I said, we're very excited. We're going into spring, but with that, we know that comes some severe weather. Can you tell us a little bit about what Wisconsin Emergency Management does and what role it plays in severe weather?
Yes, absolutely. So Wisconsin Emergency Management is a division of the Wisconsin Department of Military Affairs, and by coordinating with local, tribal, state, and federal agencies, plus volunteer and private sectors, we are able to respond to, plus help Wisconsinites plan and prepare for natural disasters or man-made emergencies. One of the ways that we encourage planning and preparedness is through our Ready Wisconsin awareness campaigns. And as you said, this week is Severe Weather Awareness Week, so starting today, April 7th, and wrapping up on Friday, April 11th. During this week especially, we encourage everyone to take some time to learn about potential severe weather in their areas, create and update emergency plans, and put them to practice.
Can you tell us a little bit, Morgan, about what your background is and how you became involved with Wisconsin Emergency Management and what you do in your role?
Absolutely. A couple of years ago, I was an intern with the National Park Service down in Texas, and I took some pretty basic emergency management trainings while I was there. I was pretty intrigued with the concepts that were shared in those trainings and really what emergency management can do for communities during some of their worst days. So I learned really all I could during that internship. I spent the last couple of years working with Alice in Dairyland and Something Special from Wisconsin over at the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection. So I was excited to move my communication skills over to Wisconsin Emergency Management. So in general now, my role is to share information with the public about emergency management and weather preparedness, whether that's tips during blue sky days or important information that's needed during emergencies.
We're talking with Morgan Brandenburg with Ready Wisconsin for Severe Weather Week. Then, because this is Severe Weather Week, can you share some details about Thursday and its upcoming statewide tornado drill?
For sure. So there will be two drills on Thursday, April 10th, the first one at 1:45 p.m. and the second one at 6:45 p.m. During those drill times, Wisconsin's National Weather Service offices will conduct National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration weather radio tests. So if you have those turned on, you will hear that. Local media outlets and local communities may also choose to test their sirens, but it's not required. So check with your local media outlets and then your local emergency management offices about your own community's alerts going off. If there is a threat of severe weather on April 10th, the statewide drills will be postponed until Friday, April 11th.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said that. I was just going to ask you, like, what happens if there actually is a tornado warning and then you're out here and you got it? So they will postpone that until another day to make sure. I like that. That's smart.
Yeah, so we'll be meeting with the National Weather Service ahead of that to make sure what the weather's looking like, and we'll be able to make an announcement likely on Wednesday afternoon.
Well, perfect. Well, in Thursday, like we said, this is where you're going to have your statewide tornado test. How should people, I guess, prepare so that they can get the most out of this so that when there is severe weather, they're actually prepared?
So leading up to those tests, it's a really great time to sit down with your family or with your office mates if you work in an office or school or anything like that, and just figure out what your plan would be for when severe weather comes. So that way when those tests are here, you can act as if it was a real test. So you know where you're supposed to go, you know what alerts to listen for, and on Thursday, it's a great way also to make sure that your multiple ways of receiving weather alerts are functioning. So we mentioned those outdoor weather tornado sirens. Those really are meant for just if you're outside, but TV channels, there's messaging that can come through your phone, and then always helpful to just have folks in the local area that you can rely on as well.
We are going to step aside for a quick break, but we are talking with Morgan Brandenburg with Ready Wisconsin. And we'll have a little bit more for Severe Weather Week on the other side of this break. That's coming up on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering and also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. We are joined this morning by Morgan Brandenburg with Ready Wisconsin to talk severe weather preparedness in the statewide tornado drill coming this Thursday. I want to jump back to this real quick, Morgan. What steps should Wisconsinites take to prepare for severe weather events, whether it be tornadoes, thunderstorms, or flooding?
So during really any time of the year, we can have various types of severe weather that comes through here in Wisconsin. So we are pretty seasonal, so it's a good time to update any emergency kits that we have with more spring and summer into this more warmer weather, severe weather, and maybe not quite take the ice scrapers out of our cars yet, but start to put some of that rain gear in there as well. So at readywisconsin.wi.gov, there are packing lists and planning materials to help residents learn about what types of severe weather can come through their area and how they can best prepare themselves for that.
Oh, I'm happy you talked about that because I was just going to ask, is there a place where resources are available if people do want to be more aware or learn what they should do in the event of severe weather? How can they access that information?
Absolutely. So readywisconsin.wi.gov is the Ready Wisconsin website. So there's a ton of information about what to do before, during, and after all types of severe weather awareness or severe weather events. So you can look into that, look in about tornadoes, thunderstorms, high winds specifically, but other things too, like flooding and landslides and some man-made emergencies as well. And then there's also financial preparedness tips included on that website as well.
So a couple of weeks ago, I guess last week too, we've actually seen heightened risks throughout the country at certain points, whether it be for tornadoes or severe weather. If somebody knows they're going to be out of the house when there is going to be severe weather that day, what steps would you recommend that they are prepared, even if they aren't close to their home?
So I always keep an emergency kit in my car, so it's a little bit smaller than the things that are in my home, but still including those flashlights, blankets, some food, some water, things like that, just to keep you safe on the road. And just learning about the area that you're going to go to and where you can receive local weather alerts for those. So some of the alerts that you can sign up through with your phone are location-based and will come to you wherever you are going, but also just checking in on local weather broadcasting services and radio channels as well.
All right, this is more of a softball for you, but I have to know, what's been your favorite part about working in this field, especially back up here now in the state of Wisconsin?
Yes, so I'm relatively new in this position and working with Wisconsin Emergency Management, but it's really been just an enjoyable time getting to learn a lot about the various weather that can come through Wisconsin and how we should be prepared for it, but also getting to share information with Wisconsinites in every corner of the state. Emergencies can happen anytime and anywhere, so it's nice knowing that the things that we are sharing and helping people learn about can help just about anybody in the state.
We're talking with Morgan Brandenburg with Ready Wisconsin for Severe Weather Week. How would you recommend to schools, businesses, local governments to collaborate with emergency preparedness groups to be better equipped as a collective for these severe weather outbreaks?
Yes, a lot of times that severe weather is definitely going to impact an entire community. So it's great to build those community resources up. More and more communities across the state are building tornado shelters for folks who don't have a home that may have a safe shelter location for themselves. They're definitely building up their communication portals as well. A lot more communities are on Nextdoor app and Facebook groups and things like that to allow quicker communication with each other. And then a lot of our communities have individual or county-wide emergency management programs that folks can check in with, learn some local resources that they may have, and see how they can get involved themselves.
We are talking with Morgan Brandenburg with Ready Wisconsin. And Morgan, do you have any numbers or statistics when it comes to severe weather that you wanted to share? Or I guess the floor is yours. Anything else that you want to share for us today with it being Severe Weather Week kicking off?
Absolutely. So Wisconsin does average about 23 tornadoes each year. So last year, the National Weather Service did confirm 45 of them in the state. While tornadoes are probably one of the more talked about forms of severe weather, the National Weather Service does keep track of numbers for flooding, hail, high winds, all sorts of severe weather types, and that's all available on their website, weather.gov. And that's another great resource for you to check on weather forecasts that are coming up. They do some really great long-term and short-term predictions that are available for your local region.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Morgan. And again, Thursday, we have our statewide tornado test or tornado drill, So we very appreciate you coming on. Get us kicked off today. Is there anything else you'd like to share before we let you go?
Just definitely a good reminder to take some time this week to make sure that you and your family have a plan for what to do in severe weather, and then put those plans to the test on Thursday. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Morgan. It was Morgan Brandenburg with Ready Wisconsin. And Kayla, it's good to know that, especially I was curious going into if we do have some sort of severe weather on Thursday, what happens with the test?
Yeah.
And they'll be, coordinating with everybody, so we will know that they will postpone that if it happens.
And of course, you can check Wisconsin Emergency Management's website if to keep up to date if that's going to happen. Of course, we'll let you know here as well on WBEV, and you can follow Ready Wisconsin and Ready Wisconsin on Facebook as well, so you'll know if that happens. But yeah, some super important information, like you said, Wally. Last week, we already had some severe weather roll through, and I think the week or two before that, we had some get pretty close to this area. So we are in that season. I was actually just looking at Ready Wisconsin's website, and this is interesting. Wisconsin averages 23 tornadoes a year, but last year they confirmed 45 tornadoes in the state, which is the third highest number. So that's pretty incredible. So it's good to be prepared. And if you follow Ready Wisconsin on Facebook, they're always posting great tips, and they're going to be especially doing so this week with Severe Weather Awareness Week. Like one of the things they have recently have posted is some tips on packing. She talked about having those emergency preparedness kits. And there's one that, get a kit should include a first aid kit, some water and non-perishable food, flashlight, cash, copies of important documents, pet foods, anything you need for the pets, some extra clothing, playing cards, puzzles, other forms of entertainment that doesn't require electronics or battery or anything like that. So those are types of things you want to think about. This is also interesting. A great tip that they posted is take photos and videos of your belongings.
Yeah.
So that if you have something, and this is even beyond weather awareness, right? If you have a fire, but maybe if you have a tornado come through and things get destroyed or lost, you've got evidence for your homeowners or renters insurance policy. So some great tips. Make sure to follow Ready Wisconsin on Facebook, and the website is readywisconsin.wi.gov. So we appreciate Morgan joining us and talking a little severe weather.
Yeah, and it's so important, too, to be ready, because we even saw last year it was one of the more active years for tornadoes that we've had in the last 20-some-odd years. And first February tornado in Wisconsin history, and then you follow it up with this year. We've already seen one of the most active Marches on record. Last week was the third most tornado warnings in a 24-hour span in 40 years. Yeah. So we're very active early. It's so important to be prepared. Know what you're doing. If you are going to be out, you're not at home, make sure you have a plan that you are going to be somewhere safe. Because you don't want to be putting yourself on the road. You don't want to be in a bad position when this severe weather outbreaks come. So very excited to be talking a little bit of severe weather. We're going to have more coming up. Yes. But we have some great things that have just happened, things that are going up.
Yeah.
I have to give a quick shout out before we jump over.
Yeah, you went out Friday night.
Friday night I went over and saw the play Trap, and oh my goodness, they were unbelievable.
That's awesome.
I was just baffled. I won't spoil too much in case they're going to have videos or anything out there. But they got the crowd involved.
Okay.
And there were things that you thought were not part of the play. That issues that were very much a part of the play. They blew me away. I thought they were absolutely phenomenal, and I know I'm already excited for their next play, whenever that's going to be.
That's awesome. Yeah, you texted me Friday night, and you were like, "Dude, Amazing.
It was unbelievable.
I was so jealous. I was so jealous. Sounds great. So that is awesome. Congratulations to them for putting on a great show. Some other positive news. Got word, last Thursday we got a chance to talk a little bit about the community impact night that was going to be happening at Pizza Ranch with the ARC of Dodge County and Life Academy. And Bernie from the ARC reached out to me over the weekend, and it was a huge success on Thursday night. Thanks to everybody who went out to Pizza Ranch this past Thursday and supported the cause, and they ended up raising just under $1,000.
Wow, nicely done.
To benefit the Good Comer Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. So super excited for that. Some fantastic news, and so we appreciate them doing that. Also, Wally, it is Championship Monday today.
It is.
I'm not talking basketball. I, of course, am talking the 95.3 WBEV cocktail bracket. We are down to the final two. It is Old Fashioned taking on Margarita. Which one will come out on top as the best cocktail of all time? That's up to them. That's up to you, all of you listening and watching, to determine who it's going to be. So if you love a good old-fashioned, had an old-fashioned with dinner last night, actually, and or you like a margarita, hop over to the WBEV Facebook page, WBEV Radio, and vote for your favorite in the comments. Right now, Wally, it looks like we've got a tie. But I think this is going to be a great matchup. I think this is going to really be close.
Oh, that one's going to be close. And if you even flip it over, go over on Facebook for ESPN as well, for ESPN Beaver Dam. We have our pizza championship right now. And I'm telling you, that one kind of broke me a little bit because I really thought my pepperoni was going to get it done. Unfortunately, it did not. It was taken down, and now we have Supreme versus Meat Lovers, so you still get pepperoni on that. So I'm very much throwing my vote over to Meat Lovers, but we'll see what happens. I know that it's going to be another really tight one, so a lot of fun things on Championship Monday.
Exactly. It's a great Monday. It's a great Monday, Wally.
Yeah, anytime you get to talk pizza, it's a good day.
Exactly. Love pizza.
Well, we are going to step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be welcoming on Diana Ogle to talk a little bit about what's going on over at the Park Village Shopping Center, and then we will welcome on Weatherman Sam to wrap the show up. That's next on Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering and also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. And speaking of McKinstry's, Kale, I just got a brand new picture of my little cousin the other day.
Yeah?
And it sounds like they're going to be able to help me out, get that framed and put up on my wall looking good.
Oh, see, there you go. I like it. Taking advantage of their picture framing department. Well, here's a question, Wally. Do you enjoy paying taxes?
No, I do not.
I don't think anybody does, right?
No.
Nobody likes paying taxes. McKinstry's, they're cool with paying taxes for you with their tax-free sale. That's right. That is why you should rush to McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Save big with their tax-free sale. McKinstry's Home Furnishings is paying the sales tax so you don't have to. The best part is everything is on sale, so you save twice. Save on things like sofas, reclining sofas, mattresses and adjustable bases, area rugs, dining sets, and rocker recliners. But you gotta hurry because this sale ends Monday, April 14th. Save big on all name brand furnishings, including Simmons Beauty Rest, Lazy Boy, England, Howard Miller, and a whole lot more. Delivery is free. We love that free delivery at McKinstry's Home Furnishings. Financing is also free, and the tax is free this week with McKinstry's Home Furnishings tax-free sale going on now at McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, where customers matter and quality counts.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Very excited for that. And it's, again, like you said it, nobody wants to pay taxes.
Yeah,
Having
exactly.
McKinstry's here to help you out. That's what makes them so great. I mean, we kind of get a little spoiled here in Beaver Dam.
We do get a little spoiled here in Beaver Dam.
Well, I tell you what, Kale, I want to stretch out this last block as
Okay.
much as we can so we have more time to talk
I
to
love
Weatherman
it.
and Sam. So we're going to throw to a real quick break here before we come back, and we're going to get to talk to people I'm very, very excited for, especially as we are kicking off Severe Weather Week. But that's right here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
You've heard.
And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering and also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Wally Lukashinsky and Kale Zomer here in studio. Big thanks to our man Corey Sparks up in the WBEV studios, making us sound good today. Very excited now. We are joined by Weatherman Sam and his wife Danielle, Mrs. Weatherman, as the shirt says. I think that's awesome. First of all, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves? And you were going to be talking a little bit more today. Can you explain to us what's going on there?
Yeah, so this is Sam and I'm Danielle. We live in Waterloo and have grown up in the general area our entire lives. We're dog lovers and we have 3 crazy ones at home. We've fostered many dogs in the past and continue to recommend and promote rescues. Sam's regular job is working for the city of Madison as a trash and recycling collector. He also plows snow for the city of Madison in the winter.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm actually speaking for Sam today as he has a speech impairment. So I do a lot of the speaking for Sam as it gets a little bit more difficult for him to speak in public. So I do a lot of that for him. However, most of his time is actually spent at our home office with 2 gigantic computers and an even bigger weather station hanging off the back of our backpack.
Wow, let's go. I made sure I came dressed appropriately.
Yes, that's his favorite movie. So.
Literally, exactly. I grew up on it, so when I found out we got Weatherman Sam and Mrs. Weatherman in today to kick off this week, especially after all the activity last week for people that follow meteorology, I'm like, I had to be prepared. So I'm very happy for you. But how did you become so interested in meteorology and severe weather coverage?
So he's actually always been obsessed with the weather, even as a kid. He loves a good storm, whether that's thunder and lightning, snow, crazy temperature swings. He gets excited for all of it. When he was younger, he attended storm spotter classes with his dad and continues to attend those.
Oh, wow.
Recently, we actually attended a weather convention with our niece and nephew who love having a famous uncle. And he's even taken a tour at a local news station and met a meteorologist. So anything weather related, we're there for it, and I'm always there to support his passion. So
it makes total sense that a weather enthusiast would drive snowplow. That's just
yes,
right?
Yes.
It feels like it all works together.
It really does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Well, we're talking with Weatherman Sam and his wife Danielle for Severe Weather Week. How long have you been doing this? How did you come up with the name Weatherman Sam? I'm very interested in both of these things.
This is actually our favorite question to answer. So back in the summer of 2010, 2011, Sam was excited about the weather as usual. We had been dating actually only a couple years, and I was already tired of him talking about the weather, which I'm actually not a fan of the weather at all.
Really?
Yeah, and as a joke, I nicknamed him Weatherman Sam. It was just a joke to begin with, and I told him to stop talking to me about it, and maybe he should tell everyone on Facebook. So he started out on his personal page. He took me very seriously. He started out on his Facebook.
Took you right at his word.
Yes.
Literal.
You got it.
He's
Yeah.
like, okay, okay,
Right.
yep. So he started telling people on his personal page and eventually developed the official Weatherman Sam Facebook page in 2014, which continues to improve as he grows. He now has over 33,000 followers. He does 2 forecasts per day, one in the morning, the other in the evening. He tracks storm systems from over a week away, and as severe weather rolls in. He looks at weather models from WeatherBell, National Weather Service, and the current conditions from our home weather station while writing his forecasts. He uses what those say and what his gut tells him to come up with his predictions.
It's so funny that you mentioned that you're not a big fan of severe weather. I swear there are 2 types of people in this world: people who are obsessed with weather,
Yep.
people who hate severe weather, and somehow they always end up together. Same thing with my
Yes.
wife and I.
Yep.
I've always been so intrigued by weather, and my wife's like, why are you staring out the window for
Yes.
the 37th time in the last hour?
I will be in the bathtub with my head covered.
That's all. Well, and now I'm going to have someone else to go and look at this stuff because I wake up, it's routine to go to tornadohq.com, and now all of a sudden I got Weatherman Sam.
Sam.
I was going to say, that's even going to be more local too. Well, so I'm curious because I wanted to grow up in storm chase. Have you ever done any storm chasing? Is there anything about severe weather safety that you would like to share?
Yeah, so he has gone chasing twice.
Let's go.
But we want to be clear. He only does this with extreme caution under certain circumstances and when certain safety precautions are met. He goes with a friend from Green Bay who is very experienced with storm chasing. I also don't allow him to go if severe weather is predicted to hit close to home. Again, I'm not a fan of the weather. And he abides by my certain criteria.
I like it.
Never go chase alone. Always have someone with you that is more experienced. Never get too close to the storm and always have an escape route planned. Always stay aware of weather regardless of your activity and don't just rely on one source for information. You should have multiple means of getting severe weather watches and warnings. Have a weather alert radio for your home and business as weather alerts are broadcast immediately without delay. Never joke around about severe weather. It can turn at any second.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very important.
Well, and being actually knowing where you're chasing is so important too, just because especially where we saw a lot of these outbreaks this last few weeks, it's that kind of new tornado alley in the southeast.
Yeah.
It's hillies, there's trees. Like, it could be right behind this hill and you don't even know it's there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
so be very careful. So I really appreciate that little note there. I do have at least one more question. Hopefully you have time for more, we'll see. Why should you follow Weatherman Sam, and where can I follow him?
Yeah. So Weatherman is one of a kind. He likes to keep his page unique, personal, honest. And while he doesn't have a meteorology degree, he is a man with a hobby that comes with years of experience, and he loves what he does. His page includes humor, things about our personal life, our love for animals and community, as well as his passion for weather. When you think about Weatherman, your typical thought is weather people don't know what they're talking about and always get their predictions wrong. Well, Sam is honest about that. He knows his chances of being right or wrong and shares with his followers why he thinks the way he does. He wants his followers to know him on a personal level so they can trust and rely on him, which is why he has grown so much as he has. He does giveaways every month to thank his followers for their trust and even had a meet and greet last year at a local brewery, which we're hoping to do again this year. None of this would be possible without the help and support of his amazing sponsors. You can follow Weatherman Sam at www.weathermansamllc.com and on Facebook at Weatherman Sam LLC.
Wow. Well, for any time you can tie together severe weather and a potential meet and greet at a brewery, I mean, I don't think you can make it any better
Exactly.
for me anyways.
Great mix.
Yeah, so I'll make sure I'll be following along. You guys at home, make sure as well, because when that happens, if you guys do it again, you're going to find me there.
Wally's going to be
Sounds
there.
good.
I can promise you that. Well, I want to ask, because we only have a couple minutes left, is there anything else you'd like to share? I know on your end you said you're not a severe weather person. So, like, what's that like when you know there are those times where he is going out chasing, and even with abundance of caution, that could be nerve-wracking for you?
Oh, it's very nerve-wracking. But having him home is a security blanket for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like last week, for instance, we're starting to see a couple tornado warnings up here in the area when all the wave was to the east. That's got to be for you. It's like, I don't really, this isn't too much fun.
Yeah, no. And I can remember times when he was up in a fishing trip with his dad and his brothers, and they were up in Minnesota, and we had tornado warnings. And, thankfully our house is built fantastic, and we have a shelter in place, and he has it all set up for me so that I know where to go and I know what to do. And he has weather alert radios so that I'm safe even when he's not home. So
I'll say even as intrigued as I am by severe weather, there has been a few moments in my life where I'm going, Last summer was a great example. We took a family trip down to Chicago. The wife and I and our 3 little kids, and we stayed downtown Chicago, right in downtown, in one of those skyscraper hotels. And we're on, I think, about the 17th floor. So we're pretty high up there. We're like overlooking Lake Michigan. And the first night we're there, Friday night it was, and we got the kids to bed, and looking at my phone and going, oh, there's some storms moving through, and then I turn on the TV and I'm watching this coverage, and there's just tornado warning after tornado warning coming from the west, just keeps coming east. I'm going, hey, I'm on the 17th floor with surrounded by glass. And I just kept hoping, like, okay, we can see Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan's got that little effect we know of weakening those storms. I'm like, let's hope that's the case. It just kept getting closer, and it just stayed together. And I went, I don't like this. And then right as it got into the city limits, it just died down, stopped producing any rotation, and whoo. But then I'm watching and seeing that we've got more storms back here at home, and I'm going, the dog was being boarded. Is that place still standing?
It's scary even when the weatherman is worried.
Yeah.
And that's what happened last summer.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, my closest thing to that, just because I feel like there are different types of people at the weather. Yeah. I got FOMO and was jealous. Because the day I interviewed for this role was the day we got that first ever February tornado up here.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I remember being like, oh, exactly. They got all the luck out there. I'm in the hills of PA. We don't see anything. So I'm very happy that we got to talk to the guys today. And very important, you brought it up, that our great emergency responders, remind everybody to take proper precautions during severe weather and leave storm chasing to experts.
Yes.
See too many of the TikTok videos now, people thinking that they can go out there and be special and do these things. Be safe.
Yep.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. So very happy that you guys brought that up, and thank you so much for coming in today. I know that I had a blast. I'm probably going to still bother you for the next 10 minutes here.
Yeah, you're probably going to be stuck with him for the next hour off the air, and then probably be getting regular emails.
You'll see me on the Facebook thread. I promise you.
We welcome it.
Well, good. I look forward to that. But that's going to do it here for us on Hometown Today. Community comment is coming up next. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here, same time, same place, tomorrow morning on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Mamma mia! 1430 ESPN Beaver Day.